Hi guys, it's Simon from Tech My Life Video, and I'm back with another WWDC 2012 follow-up video, and this time it's iOS 6. So we're going to have a look at some of the features that are coming to iOS 6, and I'll see you on the other side. So this is on the Apple website. If you want to have a look, you can do that quite simply by going to apple.com or apple.com.au or whatever it is, wherever you live, and you'll be able to check out an iOS 6 preview. As it says, it'll take your iPhone, your iPad and your iPod Touch in an entirely new direction, which I think is a reference to Maps, which is one of the biggest changes moving away from Google Maps. And some of the key features here. Look, your phone will have a phone. Oh my God, Mail and Safari, as if it didn't have those in the first place. So first of all is Maps, and their little icon here is something they might want to take a look at. They have got an icon where you are taking a left-hand turn off a bridge onto a motorway. So that really is maps that take a whole new turn. So they might want to check out their icon slightly there. With the maps we have here in this image, you can see the thing called flyover, which they've taken all this flyover imagery. They've taken photographs flying over major centres, cities around the world, and you can actually look at it as a kind of a 3D model image, which is, it's pretty. And obviously we have new maps with Apple's own map solution. We can go to traffic. You're going to be able to get traffic updates and things like that. This unfortunately is only going to be available, the traffic with the directions and turn-by-turn navigation is only going to be available on iPhone 4S and future devices, because it uses Siri, which is only available on those devices. And there's flyover. Flyover again, I believe, is going to be limited to certain devices. Moving on to Siri. Look, Siri hasn't probably done as much as I would like it to do in terms of developers potentially being able to use it. But what we do have now is sports restaurants and movies. I imagine the sports tours are going to be mainly based around the American sports. Baseball, NFL, American football, and basketball being the main ones, I would imagine. I imagine that's what we're going to see. But we'll really have to wait and see what happens with that. But yeah, I'm not sure that we're going to see this nice layout here we have shown on the iPhone. For other sports, basically. Interestingly, just why I see it there is there's a new clock, obviously, that's coming to iPad, I would imagine, as one of the additional features, as you can see the icon for there. But we click across onto the sport, you'll see that Siri is coming to the iPad, and there's some sports results across the three different devices. Movies, you're going to be able to ask about movie times. I want to see a movie tonight. It'll take your current location. It'll look for cinemas nearby and show you what's on. And also restaurants. You'll be able to find restaurants. Now, hopefully, all this is going to be fully functional outside of the US. We'll wait and see how functional it actually is. It's also integrating with Yelp for your restaurant ratings, and I believe Open Table, which is not a service that I have seen available in Australia. So somebody correct me on that if I'm wrong, but I'm not exactly sure whether we'll see that one. Facebook integration, you're going to be able to Facebook from apps and share and post, and just when I wanted less of Facebook in my life, we're going to have more of it. So you're going to be able to do that as well by obviously inputting your details into the settings, and then you'll be logged into your account and you'll be able to post photographs and links and so forth. One other thing you'll be able to do is actually have with the Facebook integration is also have all your contacts from Facebook, and things like birthdays and events actually appear in your calendar. Which look, as long as you can exclude certain events and they don't keep on getting re-added, that's not a bad thing. So that's something that be interesting to see. If as long as you can exclude certain people, as I mentioned, and certain events, then that's fine. Because there's certain people that I probably have as a Facebook friend who I don't necessarily want to have all their information in my phone. And excuse me, a little bit of addition also to the store is Facebook integration to the App Store in terms of being able to like apps and songs using Facebook. A shared photo stream. You're going to be able to have set up photo streams that you can actually share with people. People are going to be able to comment on those photographs, and you're going to have they're going to be able to like it and things like that. So you're going to have a little bit of a, I guess, interaction with events that you may have shared with other people or been on with other people, and you'll be able to share those photographs, and they'll obviously be able to view them online as well. Passbook is another feature. This is things for boarding passes. As you can see, things like discount vouchers for Target or a Starbucks card, store credit for Apple Store, those kind of things. Being able to have those things on your phone in one simple place. You've got time and location based notifications. So basically what it means is when you arrive at the airport, your boarding pass, you get this little notification, so you can just tap on it or swipe across and you're straight into your boarding pass. So it knows you've arrived at the airport, and that'll bring that one up. So that's pretty cool. FaceTime over cellular, or we call it, I guess, cellular in Australia. We call them mobile phones, not cell phones. It'll depend on your telecommunications provider whether they are going to allow that on your plan. I imagine that it may have an additional cost attached to it. So we'll just have to wait and see whether that is available for everybody. Well, of course, your phone is going to be a phone, as I mentioned earlier, but it's some changes to the phone. And what they are is this little phone icon down here. Now, I believe this is something that's been available on Android for a while. Somebody can either confirm that or correct me in the comments. But basically, when you get a phone call, you simply swipe up on this little phone icon and you will get some options. You can answer the phone call, you can decline the phone call, you can reply with a message or remind me later. Depending on what you click, if you reply with a message, you'll get some options. Now, these are messages that you can set yourself. You can change these in settings so they say what you'd like, or if you click custom, you'll have opportunity to type a message. And if you do remind me later, what you'll get is a reminder in an hour when I leave, so that will obviously put a geofence around your current location. When you get home, obviously it knows where your home is, it knows where your work is, and it can remind you then. So that's pretty neat, nice little feature. And you also have Do Not Disturb. Now, I mentioned this in my predictions video, wanting a range of modes basically, and Do Not Disturb is effectively a mode. Now, they've done some quite nice things with this mode. Basically, you can schedule the time for Do Not Disturb between certain hours, and then you can do things like allow calls from, and you can have a list of people that you will allow calls from. I'd like things like calls and text messages. Do you want text messages from this person or calls from that person, and be able to select. If they repeat their calls, if they call you more than twice in about 3 minutes, I believe it is, it will allow the call to come through. And of course you can set those times. Now, my only issue is that what if I want to go, right now I want to go into Do Not Disturb mode. Rather than just going in here and being able to turn it on, I'm going to need to go in and go, okay, I want it on now, but I don't know how long I want it on for. So I'd like to have this as part of a mode. So nighttime mode, not Do Not Disturb, but nighttime mode, I would have these times set and I would just switch that on. But Do Not Disturb is something that I want to drop into right now, and I'll turn it off when I've turned it off. So I'd like them to expand this slightly. It's not quite there for me, but it does have some nice functionality. So Mail, look, they've made some changes to Mail. They've added a VIP box, which is where you can name people who are going to be on your VIP list, and mail from those people will land in that specific box. Look, one of the other nice features that I'm really happy about is finally you are going to be able to insert photos and videos into your emails, which has always been a little bit of a pain in the arse. So moving on to Safari, now basically cloud tabs is something that's pretty exciting in the fact that if you're browsing something on your phone, and I do this all the time, if I'm on my phone, I'm looking at a website, and I go, oh, like that'd be nice if I could look at that on the iPad, and just have that bit more real estate, or jump on the computer and look at it. Now basically you can do that almost instantaneously. Jump on, click on the cloud tabs, it will show you the tabs you got open, you go, it's that one, and straight away you're looking at it in that bigger size screen. So I'm really happy to see that. We've got off-screen offline reading list, meaning you can save articles later and they'll be available offline if you don't have a connection. For example, if you're going on a flight somewhere, you might want to save a bunch of articles from various websites, and while you're on the flight, you'll be able to access those. The other one is full screen mode. When you're in landscape, you can get rid of the toolbars at the top and bottom, and have a better viewing experience, obviously on the smaller screen of the iPhone. This is really, really handy. And with accessibility, one of the big things, and I just think this is a fantastic thing that I haven't seen before, and it's guided access. And basically what it does is it allows you to restrict access to certain buttons. So basically, as you can see here, there is a box that's been drawn around certain buttons on the screen, and it allows, when you've got somebody with special needs where you want them to stay in a particular app, or you may have a museum where you've got iPad set up on a stand and somebody can go up and interact with it, and you don't want them to be able to access anything else on the iPad or exit the app, so it basically locks them into the app. Now my question straight away is, because you can turn the home button off, how do you get out of guided access? I'm not sure exactly how you get out of it once you're in it. But basically, look, it looks like a great feature, and it'll be interesting to play with once it becomes available. Find My Phone and Find My Friends have both changed slightly. The look of Find My Phone has changed slightly, but the functionality is generally the same. There's just some slight tweaks to that. And certainly they are great features. Find My Phone is something that I am very thankful for having. The remodeled store, they've changed the layout of the store, or they will with iOS 6, in the belief that it's going to be better for developers, just show off the apps a little bit better. And a lot of new features have come in for China, which is obviously a huge market, or huge potential market for Apple. So it only makes sense to add those features. So there you go, guys. That is a look at iOS 6. Well, at least the key features. There is, of course, a raft of changes to iOS 6 that you'll be able to discover when you can download it later in the year, closer to the launch of the iPhone 5. So probably September, October kind of time frame. I would imagine that's when the phone will be announced, and the phone will launch a week later, and the software will probably be launched at the announcement, or the day of the announcement, or the day later. So that's what I would expect. Please comment, give your thoughts below. Please like the video, and please subscribe to the channel. I'm Simon from Tech My Life Video, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Well, not quite a nutshell, maybe a massive nutshell. I tend to talk a bit. So there you go, guys. Closer to the launch of the is